for later. Let's try and have a thing where
Go ahead.
it can be a little less combat-y
I most of like
for later.
me and Holly did not discuss that.
Yeah.
She just had a lot of combat, and then I threw my thing at the end. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I run like there's a lot of investigation plot.
Okay. Yeah, and just for just as a personal aside thing, next time if I'm or if there's another time where I'm plotting out something where it's like info dump at the moot because ah ha ha ha, if at any point you find out that there's going to be a thing that completely shuts that down, just as an out of character thing, can you let me know off to the side so then that way I'm not holding off on things for 3 days?
I mean, I don't. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's not a huge deal. It's just I wanted to get that out there to one of you.
yeah. I mean, yeah. You. I will try to relay that to Holly, but this was her baby, and I just
Yeah.
I was a player in the scene who found out afterwards in the
All right. Well, we've been live for a little bit, but that's okay. I wanted to
Oh,
let that get out. You're good. You're good. Don't worry about it. I ain't worried about it. All right. Welcome to another episode of Minneapolis by Night. This is the vampire venue. Specifically, this is the Primogen meeting that is finally taking place because I got impatient. I'll call it like it is. I got impatient. Right now, as you can see, we have a few members here. Um, Everybody who came into attendance, it's at Warehouse 13, which is highly secured at this point in time due to the amount of people that is going to be here and the heads that are going to be here. So it's tight. It's on lockdown. I'll assume everybody showed up. The specific people who I told before we went live is allowed to keep their weapons because that's their job. Other than that, you see all the NPC Primogen heads, here, and there's a few other people, but basically this is one of the meetings to determine a harpy. They have to pick someone because a city without a harpy is fucking ridiculous. A Setite will be joining them. No one will know what clan he is yet, unless he brags about it openly. But there will be a gentleman that no one has seen before that is actually in the meeting. He was allowed in, so obviously he must be kin. Because yes, they are checking that shit at the door.
Is there like a prince or a seneschal or something like that here?
The prince is currently indisposed, and there is no seneschal, so basically it's all down to the Primogen to deal with that.
Oh, okay, cool.
So basically, you can introduce yourself to the Primogen, and they'll give you the go ahead because there's going to be some changes.
Oh man, that's like pants shittingly annoying.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. I mean, all you really have to do is walk in and go, "Hey, I'm here. I don't want to get killed."
Oh, hello, a tribunal. I didn't realize this is the way you're doing things these days, guys. All right. Well, you've disarmed me. Shall I remove my shirt?
Nah, they just want you to disarm. I mean, they're only going to take your weapon, so you're good.
All right. Well, he's like, I don't know, a tall, skinny, Norwegian-looking dude, in like a t-shirt and jeans and boots, and like some leather gloves, I guess. And he's got this three-headed dragon triskelion thing hanging around his neck. And he introduces himself as Mirko Horn. He's new to the city and wanted to make himself known, but apparently there are no higher authorities in the city than all of you.
All right.
Well, there's a prince.
Not that I mean, I have
He's
not.
just not here.
Prince is currently indisposed.
I see. I assumed he would be here. Well, hello.
Mike. Oh, I gotta put Mike up because he's here. Creepy Mike. Mike looks over. What clan are you?
one of
He's looking right at
the followers of Set, here to oversee my interests of my clan.
Mike nods. Well, you technically didn't have to report to us, or even
No,
the
but it is very polite to do so when entering another territory, so as not to step on any toes and have to meet the Scourge or the Sheriff.
Mike looks over to Mr. Ransdale and over to Kevin and just kind of smiles.
Oh, then I assume that
But
you would
we're
be the
here.
Scourge and the Sheriff. Well,
Yes.
it's very lovely to meet you. My name is Marco Horn. I am a follower of Set here to oversee my clan's interests.
Please don't kill me.
I come all the way from far off Norway, where it is colder than it is currently here. If you can believe it.
What do you guys do? Mike seems okay, and I mean, he's the Nazi Primogen, but he's just a Primogen. Technically, it's the Scourge and Sheriff's responsibility to agree or disagree, so I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. I mean, he didn't have to report; he did anyways. That's at least making an effort. So, your call.
I think they're all distracted with the thing.
No, I'm just trying to think if I want to respond to this. Like, I'll.
Bill is looking at him with his impassive face, like he usually does, just staring at him.
Well, that's Ransdale for you, though. He does that a lot.
Brand say, "You have presented yourself, and this is adequate for me. Until the prince has given a decision on the nature of Clan Set in the city, I will not destroy you."
Oh, very gracious of you. And you are?
Mr. Ransdale, he cut off. He's Mr. Ransdale. He's the Tremere Primogen and the Scourge of the city.
Mr. Ransdale will write something on a piece of paper, and he will get up and he will hand it to the Setite.
Okay, I'll put it in my pocket.
Okay. You write your contact information, I assume?
It's more than that, but yeah, my contact information is one of the things on what I've written.
Okay, gotcha.
I think that should be good enough for now. Just stay out of trouble. We got enough shit we're dealing with right now.
Yes, I have heard. There are rumors of an impending Sabbat incursion. This is counterintuitive to my clan's interests, as well as your own.
Very well. Well, Marco, if you'd like to sit over there, you're welcome to. But this is technically a Primogen meeting. I have no issues with you staying to listen in so that way you can be better informed since you are just arriving to the city. I can't speak for the others, but like I said, I have no issues. But we would ask you to kind of sit over to the side, just listen in, and maybe you can pick up on some stuff. And at the end, we will allow an open floor so we can speak with our clans and various others and find out if maybe they know something we don't.
Oh, this is very, very nice of you. I will accept if you rest of you are okay with it. I will sit over here in this corner.
Mike looks to everybody else.
Alexander's just gonna nod.
Roland will just nod.
Okay.
Alright, go sit in the corner.
We'll assume the others don't give a
Wherever
shit.
the fuck you tell me to sit, I'll go sit.
It's a big, I mean, literally, it is just an empty warehouse, except there's a giant table where, all these guys are sitting, and then there's a bunch of chairs kind of off to the side.
Alright, I'll pull up a chair, I guess.
Cool. All right.
Is it a big round table or is it more like a big conference table?
Big round table.
Okay.
Everyone's same. They were thinking. Mike looks, well, let's get the first order of business out of the way. We need to decide goddamn heartbeat because this is getting ridiculous. We have no real communication with the outside world other than our contacts. As a city under Camarilla control, I believe we need to have a heartbeat in one way, shape, or form.
Absolutely.
And especially for outside of the city, as a city under siege, if we don't have any communication with the rest of the Camarilla cities in the area, then we're kind of fucking ourselves.
Mike definitely nods at that one. So,
Yep.
do we have any ideas for who we want as a heartbeat?
Roland will lean over to Sean's character. You're not on Facebook right now, are you, Sean?
No, I'm not, but I can get it on my phone, so go ahead.
Okay, 1 second.
You can just send it to me too with my supernatural hearing.
Hey, PJ, you want to send me what the note says?
Oh, sure.
I was gonna say, since he's just sitting there listening.
Kevin will nod and smile for that.
All right. Well, we've got a nomination for a Beck of. It looks at Kevin Clan Tremere, right?
Correct.
Of Clan Tremere.
Okay, and who would that be? Mike seems to be like the leader for right now because, I guess.
That would
He's
be-
ugly. We gotta give him something.
Yeah.
That would be a member of Clan Tremere, named Beck.
Sorry, I didn't hear that part. You said
And what are his qualifications?
Her.
Beck?
Or
Her. Okay. Miss Beck.
And he would turn around, look at Kevin, wave
She
him
is
forward.
he'll just simply pick up as soon as the question is asked. From my understanding, she's an upstanding member of both the Camarilla and her clan, and her sire is a former prince of Fayetteville.
Mike seems impressed. Sounds good to me. What about the rest of you? The Torador Primogen? No, it doesn't seem really there. They got a shiny. Tremere's here. Gangrel's here. The Bruja Primogen. Nods. We need a heartbeat. I don't care who it is, as long as we got somebody that can keep an eye on things and handle what needs to be handled.
As long as you can assure that they have the contacts and the means to fulfill the job, then I don't see a reason why not.
All right, so the nomination's been tabled and seconded by at least one individual. He looks around at the table.
Mike raises his clawed hand.
Any opposed?
Nobody opposes. Congratulations, Miss Beck just became the heartbeat.
Yay, we made our first decision as the Primogen Council. Congratulations, everybody.
All right. Is there any particular, specific, important news we need to discuss while we were here?
Yes, and I apologize if this comes off as perhaps overstepping responsibilities as the whip, but I have been working to try and get as much information gathered on this issue that's been going all around, causing the CDC to now show up. I'm working on putting together a timeline map and filling out a number of other things for a portfolio about the entire thing, trying to make sure that as much information is gathered as possible. If you have anything about it, or you have anyone that you believe would be able to assist with it, then I would like for them to be sent my way, because this needs to be addressed and quickly.
Might not. Mike goes, I'm going to say what no one here is willing to say. We lost the entire Anarch population to that virus. Obviously, we needed it to get taken care of, and the reports that are spreading around the city are that now it's infiltrating the Torador and the Gangrel areas. This could be a serious threat.
If I may, it already is a serious threat, and it should have not gotten to this point.
Well, the problem is if we don't know where it originated or exactly how it works, that's our most difficult problem. We need to find out how it's transmitted. Is it transmitted through touch, airborne, liquid? I mean, we need to find out that specifically. Once we find out, then we can start putting down measures to ensure that doesn't happen. It's disturbing that it's already infected, 2 more sectors, and I'm scared to know how many other sectors it's going to infect before we find out. I mean, unfortunately, we're all getting information kind of on the tail end of things. We're just now hearing about the gangrel and the Torador, but how long has it been going on in there already? And where is it coming from?
This is a new thing in Clan Gangrel territory.
As far
Well,
as
that's
we're
good.
aware.
Yeah, as far as we're aware, it may have just been noticed finally in Clan and Gangrel territory. But we'll go with the assumption that it's brand new to the territory since it is the first case, and then I'm pretty sure the Gangrel and their ghouls would at least be on top of stuff like that, and let somebody know. So we'll assume it's a brand new thing. I know the Torador are pretty. Well, unfortunately, you guys are a little more open than the rest of us, so who knows when you guys could have gotten infected. He just kind of looks at the Torador and actually kind of scoots away a little bit.
So,
The other-
Vampire's not stupid.
can someone acquire me the body of one of the people who has, one of the kindred who's gotten sick?
I believe any of the deceased bodies are currently under the control of Miss Giovanni. As being the city ME, I believe she is currently looking into that. So you may want to get a hold of her about that. If any kindred or ghoul becomes sick in any way, shape, or form, I recommend quarantining them immediately and informing either Mr. Ransdale or Miss Giovanni, since she has the medical knowledge, and they can assist in trying to get it taken care of as soon as possible. I know I have my Nosferatu currently being put on lockdown, and we're trying to keep any of our usual sources from extending out right now. Basically, we've turtled up, at least for the CDC purposes. We don't need the virus spreading. I'm checking, we're checking everyone. We're checking all our sources. And so far, nothing, but I cannot say for sure. I don't know what's going on right now, so could very well be already infected us, and we don't know it yet. We don't know how this thing incubates. We don't know how it works. Nothing. We have, all we know is that it seems to only be really harming kindred and ghouls.
Yes.
That means it's directly targeting us.
For a major boon, Clan Tremere will provide people with 7 traits of blood for however you wish to use them.
There we go. So if you absolutely feel like you might be catching it or get a sniffle, go to the Tremere or go to Miss Giovanni and talk to her and see if maybe she's come up with something.
Or for 2 major boons, I will cure you of the disease.
And there you go. I think that's a pretty worthwhile deal considering the ones who have suffered from this disease meet final death. I figure 2 major boons instead of final death is pretty good to me.
And it'll keep our new harpy busy.
Yeah.
So, hi guys.
Carmine. By the way, Carmine, when you this is at Warehouse 13. When you entered, you were, this place is on hardcore lock because of all the people here and all the heads. So your guns were taken. I mean, they say you'll get them back, but that's basically it. Other than that, they allow you in.
Hey.
Carmine.
Hey. Guys, is who's here?
All the Primogens, at least, PC wise, and then all the NPC Primogens. So.
Hey, boss, what's shaking?
Not much. Just listening for the most part.
So, my colleague here tells me you guys have chosen a hobby or whatever.
That'd be correct. Well, I won't speak for them. I'll let them handle it.
So, like, who was that? Who'd you guys pick over here?
Miss Beck from Clan Tremere. Her qualifications, give it to her, and if she proves unworthy, we'll find a new heartbeat. But
Did you do the thing Alex, your thing.
Not yet. We were discussing the virus outbreak.
Virus outbreak. You know, that's kind of a big problem. The guy Roe over there, he sent me a thing over that. You know, I was like, yeah, it's not really a venture problem, but I understand it could be a venture problem at some point.
Yeah, I thought it was important to
So,
breed some good a good whatever you call it.
right.
Overcome some old hardships between our clans to share that information.
Right, no problem. Hey, yo, Alex.
Yes.
Yeah. You guys got any data to fix this thing or what?
Right now we're having to wait on Miss Giovanni to finish her medical exams. I'm working on the rest of the portfolio as well. Hopefully, with what I've got,
The
we're gonna
tall
be able to
black,
start tracing things back to where it may have started at or not.
tall black and scary figure out anything?
Tall, black,
What?
and scary.
I have
Yeah.
figured out several things.
Oh,
Okay, cool. So, how do you got a way to fix it?
I have a way to save people who acquire the disease. I have a way to cleanse the blood that people drink, but I do not have a way to eliminate the disease.
Okay, so once you get it, you got a way to fix it.
Yes.
You like offering that up or what?
Yes, I told the council that they can disseminate through the clans that for 2 major boons, I will remove the disease from people. And
Hey,
if they require blood, I have stores already saved up, and for 1 major boon, they may have a week's worth of blood.
so Alex, can you draw from the petty cash about 2 million? 2 million, okay for a boon?
It is more than enough, yes.
Right, no problem.
I'll make sure that gets over to you, Mr.
Just make sure
Rainsdale.
you pull from petty cash though. Don't pull from the major money, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So I got this problem. Assembled Primogen. I got this problem. His name is Andres. I'm having difficulty maneuvering throughout the whole vampire thing with this guy who's a douche nugget running things. Is this a problem that the rest of you have?
The other problem, John.
I would say that if one has an issue with the prince as vocally as you have, Carmine, that you should probably practice some.
Probably some what?
You should
Oh, practice
probably.
them.
Yes.
See, I can't do that. I can't do that. Here's why. Stability, that kind of thing. Okay, here's the thing. My boss, who is the sheriff, hey boss, he told me that he wanted me to work on the stability of the realm. And I sat back and I thought with my noodle all the things that I could do to whack this guy or to make him not a problem. I thought about feeding him bullshit. I thought about a lie campaign. I thought about a whole lot of stuff. And the best thing that I could come up with was a technicality. So, boss, if you don't mind, if I were able to, he pulls out a phone and he pushes 9.
Okay.
If I was able to make sure that the prince was no longer a problem, and then find a suitable replacement which gave no one in this room any other extra power, and would be able to solidify the political acumen of the kindred of like Minneapolis. Would you be okay with that?
Who did you have in mind to replace the prince if you're going to do such a thing?
I mean, he's. I got some backing from some guys. I looked out. I had to look outside of Minneapolis. I had to kind of think outside the box.
Okay, and this person is?
Well, is the prince a problem? Do you think that he should be eliminated?
I think the prince is a problem if people keep going to him and creating problems. We already know what he is.
Who's
Plan
going to him?
problems should be handed.
People are going to him still.
Yeah, that's what I understand.
Oh, well, that's a no-go. I mean, that's a no-go. If they can't be trusted to not go to him, if they're not listening to that, I say we just cut our losses and get rid of them.
That's what I was thinking.
Who's with me?
It's gotta happen eventually.
Ransdale says, I will go destroy him.
It's okay, Rainsdale. I got it covered. I'm just asking. Who's with me?
Apparently, Roman's Reigns is with them.
Ro, good Primogen of the gangrel. What do you think?
Going to wait to hear what the others have to say.
So
The others
Reigns,
probably didn't agree that he needs to be taken care of. He's a problem.
I thought we could game him, but apparently that was not an option. So if you have a plan, Carmine, I have no problem with that.
If you let me go kill him, it will likely be that he will have some Sabbat allies there, and I can destroy them as well.
and as much as I understand you like to flex, I get that, big man. I kind of need you doing the magical thing. So, what do you guys? I need a yes, because I don't want to do this behind you guys' back and nothing. I'm going on Front Street. I'm putting my resources on the line. I got a plan. I just need to know you guys are okay with it.
The others all
Since
agree.
nobody says anything, Alexander he just sits up in his chair, folds his hands across his stomach, says, "Boss, it's your show. I'll back your play."
I haven't heard from the gangrel yet.
Ransdale will look at Kevin, and he will say, I had always been told that your clan was a clan of action. It is odd that they sit back and...
I am the gangrel Primogen at this table.
Excuse me?
Ransdale said to Kevin that he...
No, I said to him in character. Excuse me?
You're talking to Ransdale or Ro?
Rensdale, because I heard the tail end of your statement. I heard your clan was a clan of action. Why did he sit back and do nothing? And that's when I said, excuse me.
Your clanmate will not make a decision until he has heard the opinions of others. I'm confused.
It's a Primogen Council meeting. I mean, I've already said what my feelings on this, and Carmine, I assume, I am not going to speak for him, is waiting for a majority, so... The Primogen Council needs to act. It's not just him. It's this whole room.
Most of us here have already stated our opinions.
Okay. Well then.
Yeah, they all agreed.
Except
Then
At least the
the
NPCs.
Clan Gangrel has no issues with Ramsdale doing what he wants. With Carmine doing his plan. Sorry.
Okay, so here's the plan. I'm gonna push this button. I got the okay. You've now received the files officially.
Very well.
Give me a minute.
You hear back. It's done.
Okay, so the prince is now dead. So what we gotta do is think on who we should elect as the prince. Now, I got this idea. It's kind of wacky. He's not from here.
your idea is already wacky because you have an idea of electing a prince. A prince is not elected. It is held by force and might.
Oh, I got a guy who can kick all your asses.
Just as much political power as it is force and might, because if the Primogen Council doesn't like you as prince, they'll remove you, as you just saw.
Oh, no, this guy, I promise, he's got backing. Would you like to see his references?
Is it a jump?
Sure. Since
Okay.
he's going to be my boss.
Okay, let me get his references in here. He pushes 10.
Okay.
Give me a minute. They got to sneak in the building and whatnot.
You see this gentleman in several other people arrive. You see who he arrives with is Jonas and several of the other Archons.
You guys might not be familiar with this guy. His name is Crow.
I had to change my appearance.
He's the former prince of Minneapolis. People thought he was dead and he ain't.
Who is it? Crow?
Crow. He walks straight over to the Tremere. And if you
Oh,
wish to
I
stand-
knew that. I knew he was going to be in. 1 second.
He walks straight over to me and does what?
He holds his hand out if you wish to check to confirm my true identity. He holds out his hand.
All right. Ransdale will take out a small knife and he will cut the prince's wrist, or he'll cut Crow's wrist, and he will taste the blood him.
Okay. It's Crow. I'll give you more information since you're the only one with me. I'll give you the rest of the information.
Yeah, I want to know those
But yeah.
extra bits and details.
Yeah, I'll give you the
So
rest of it.
here's the deal.
But
Before
that
you know,
is definitely
he's,
James Crow.
and before I understand he's just a candidate. I got some guys that will vouch for him. Would you like to hear their testimony?
No.
Jonas kind of stands back and waiting to see if anybody's asked that.
He
Please.
says, I believe Crow was in contention and that Sven at some point had overthrew him. Is this a wrong assumption?
Before he speaks, as is official, I need the Primogen to understand that I'm not just putting forward some sort of puppet guy. So I got some people that I gathered to speak on his behalf. Would you like to hear them?
No, I don't. I want to hear from him.
He really
He
can't
would
talk
not-
right now.
Oh. He cannot?
Well, I mean, he can talk, but he really can't because he's got some official stuff he's got to do first. So I got to have these guys talk about him first because they got to say yeah. So do you mind if they come and speak for him?
If you wanted them to speak, you could just say, I'm going to have these men speak. I don't care if they speak.
Okay. Do the rest of the Primogen agree?
Go ahead.
They all do.
Okay, guys.
Okay. In you see walk 13 people. A couple you recognize. Hey, Mr. Ransdale, you see your Tremere apprentice.
Oh.
Now you know that.
I'm like, apprentice, did you ask permission to leave? I don't understand.
He smiles. I'm here on another capacity.
Oh.
Forgive me. I'll return as soon as it's done.
So,
So, Ro, you know Leo, right?
And yes, Leo's here.
As it's a Leo. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you see Leo walk in, Ro can probably put the rest together.
So, these are the guys who are going to speak for him. I'll just move aside. You guys can have the floor. There's 13 of them. There's like one for every guy.
Yeah.
So, like, if you need some words or whatever. You see, everybody got a boon that night. I decided to use mine to get them to come and talk to us about this guy and get a new prince that nobody can punk in town.
We're actually surprised Moore didn't take us up on the offer. The Torador the one who was at the meeting with everyone.
Everybody,
I'm truly surprised. I mean, we gave you a chance to use some of our resources in whatever way you needed. We basically gave you an open boon. But neither here nor there. I will tell you, as chosen for the Torador clan, that Mr. Crow has never been decent. Well, he didn't die until he was embraced. He was never dead in the car accident. The Sabbat had gotten too close. They had infiltrated due to other associates that have now been removed from the situation. And we were not sure how the current control would sway. When we saw Andreas was put as prince, we felt it our duty to step in and assist those who were trying to improve the city. Hence the information that we disseminated, hence everything else we've given.
See, the long and the short of it is, the reason that Jonas was there was because if Lucinda, Jessica, had received the information that the guy was a Sabat, she'd had to whack him right then. So she sent like her ace homie in her stead, so that she never technically received the information. So like change that, then so she lost it because she can, because she's Jessica. You see, none of us could have done it. Technically, we would have still Sabat or not. No one, as far as I know, had sent. Oh, there's a package that I got for each of you. Hey, Jonas, you got that bag?
Jonas nods.
Right, thanks. This is some information that I came across. Sorry, Rainsdale, I didn't believe you either. I thought it was kind of jacked up how you did things, but I did some research and I came into some intelligence that maybe you all might find interesting. Even my boss, Ayo, Sheriff, here's a little tape deck thing for you all. At your leisure, you can all at your leisure, I would like for you all to look at these audio-visual presentations, which I have had authenticated as conversations with the former regent of the Tremere.
Okay.
So you guys at your own leisure, please listen to these things and see what you know, see what they say. That's neither here nor there. I just wanted to make sure that I threw that out.
Jonas will state, we have watched the videos. To sum up, they confirm his Sabat infiltration, and they confirm that he was working with the very infernalist he was living next to.
I mean, I thought it was kind of weird that that any of this would go down. So I decided to check. Sorry, Rainsdale. I gotta hedge my bets over here.
Renzo shrugs his shoulders. I knew what he was, and I destroyed him.
But now Mr. Ransdale's stance has been more secured because this has been proven. The idiot documented himself.
I think it was some kind of blackmail thing or whatever. He was gonna use it if shit went bad or whatever. I don't know, but my guys who are no longer with us were able to obtain this information. We can't just have secrets like that spilling. So even you guys have guys do something like break into a chantry, kill
them. Mr. Rainsdale's eyes get a little wide for a second, and then they go back down.
Mr. Ransdale got information.
So, other than that, you guys okay with him being the prince and all?
Yes.
Mike and the other NPCs not. I'm going to leave it up to the other PCs to agree. If they don't...
No. Rainsdale says he has not answered my question. He could not hold the domain from Sven. How does he think he can hold the domain now?
I could not hold the domain from Sven because Sven had his hands in pockets he shouldn't have.
He would have. I'm pretty sure he would have blown his cover if he'd have used all the power he had to bear. So he had to kind of vamoose.
If I had brought forth the information I had, it would have revealed those who were deep cover. If anybody wants to check, they can do a perception empathy check.
Rainsdale does not care.
Okay.
Hold on. Perception empathy.
Crow looks right at Random. If you don't feel I'm a worthy candidate, that's fine. I understand. It's just, do you have another choice in mind? I mean, you can always put me as prince, and if you feel I'm not doing the job, as a council, you can take me out of office and replace me with someone who is more fit.
I don't think we should let him off that easy.
By the way, Ro, he's been completely honest. He's, no change of emotion, nothing. He's been dead serious about everything he says.
Yes, I believe I agree as well. I do not have an issue with you being prince. However, if you fail this time, I will kill you.
You not? Everyone else in agreement with that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, Rainsdale.
Oh, Rainsdale knows some things, though. Damn taste of blood. Damn it. I'll get you some more in a little bit there, PJ.
That's cool.
Thank you for your-
Ransdale says, I can confirm he is who he says he is.
Chronons.
Well, this has been an interesting evening.
I would ask, from the Tremere Primogen's perspective, the domain has been in an incredible state of flux. With the gaining of powers, there are some that are beholden to other clans. There are some that are given to be Sabbat disciplines. We must, I think, a princely decree should be made that, as long as it has been confirmed that you have not tracked with the Sabbat, that, and I understand that there is likely someone out there with Tremere thaumaturgy, but I am willing to say for my clan that we will not pursue the death of this individual due to a spell of the mages. And I would like, assuming the rest of the Primogen Council agrees, we will not pursue people for having proprietary clan disciplines. And if the prince will forgive, that everyone should be forgiven of disciplines that might be considered Sabbat.
I'm really not into that. Not without a vetting process.
Well, that's why
Yes.
he said he would have to be proven
Yes.
in Crow books. He did come right out and say if it's proven that you didn't gain it through Sabbat methods, then that's one thing.
Now, how do you prove that, though?
There are many ways.
I can have my clan do something that would make an area where it is unable for you to lie. You may not answer the question, but you may not lie while in the circle of truth. And
So Ringsdale, you got this ability and you didn't like put it on any of the rooms, like in the prince's house or nothing like that? You didn't share this sort of thing?
no, I specifically do not possess this, but I can have it
Yes,
done.
John.
Oh,
Okay, second.
All right. I relent.
very good. Does anyone else have any issues with this?
Clan Tremere can back that for their entire clan, not just in this city.
No, absolutely. I do not speak for every Tremere in the nation.
Then there may be people with issues on that.
We only have to focus on what's in the city.
I'm not
What about
sure
people coming through the city?
I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but I cannot control every Tremere that's ever been made, as I am not the prince of the world. I can speak for the people who come into this city. I can speak for my clanmates that make themselves known to me. Can I be aware of assassins? No. Will I seek out to send any assassins to this domain? No. Do I speak for every single Tremere? No.
I guess that is about the best you can do.
He is speaking for the Tremere within the city, as he is the official Primogen of the clan, so he has the word of this plan. We're not worried about other cities or people coming through. People coming through will have to be vetted through other sources.
No, I realize this, and I would have had a much greater problem with him if he had said yes, actually.
Okay, gotcha.
That was actually a test.
But from what I hear, we now have a new heartbeat.
Test me.
It's okay, Mr. Ranger. We just have to make sure.
Yeah, it's too bad Queen isn't here to be the princess of the universe.
Is this the real? Sorry, I couldn't help it.
All right. Then no, I do not have a problem. However, I do have a issue in Gangrel territory that I have to go deal with. Start looking into this the virus spreading. So I shall hand over the rest of the meeting to my whip. AKA out of character, Ian has to go.
Gotcha. All right. See you.
Yeah. Bye.
So who's your whip then? I don't
Hi.
know.
Kevin. Yeah, he heads for the door.
It's got like 4 titles.
I know. I'm collecting them like little trophies.
Are you like Jamaican or something over here? So, hey, so Prince, I guess this is your show.
May not.
One second now. Just so you know, they're gonna leave. So if you want them to do something for you, you might want to ask for it now.
He's motioning to the 13, by the way. Yes. Once we leave here, the city. Once we leave, we are leaving the city, and that will be it. With the exception of a few of us who have chosen to stay.
Ransdale will look at the Tremere. He's like, "You are leaving our group."
He goes, "I'm going to stay until we can find a proper replacement that can do the same qualifications I can."
He's never leaving.
Yeah, his qualification means nobody. Yeah, Ransdale, you're the only one who can do what he can do.
Ransdale will say, "Then may we speak about the gift that I asked of you back at our chantry?"
He nods. Yeah, definitely.
Very good.
You guys might want to set up Boon Watch some kind of other way. I'll leave if you guys want.
Yeah.
It is not required for me.
Mike goes, "By the way, since we now have an official prince, I would like to introduce a fellow clanmate of mine. He's been here for a while, but with everything going on, we felt it necessary that he remain out of touch for now. And I ask the forgiveness of both the prince and the rest of the sheriff and the scourge for not bringing it forward sooner. Basically out of character. It's John's character, so he's had a last step going on. But I do ask for forgiveness for that, and I assure you that we have no more other people secrets that will be problematic. Mike, please, or Damien, please step forward. God damn it, my brain's fried.
Good evening, gentlemen. I appreciate the opportunity to step forward here. Mr. Crow, it is good to see you again back in your customary position.
Does this dude really look like this out of character?
Yeah, he's Nosferatu, man. They all look creepy.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought he had some other kind of problem. Man.
Hey Marcus, you on Facebook?
Nigga, did Spawn the Eternal?
Yes, he spawned. No, it's just close as he could find. We'll just go with it.
I do have some relevant information concerning the discussion of how exactly Sven had come to his position. That might clear up that discussion a bit. Something that was handled discreetly, working with non-kindred to resolve. Sven had taken upon himself to sire some changing breed child there. Skin changers, if you will.
What?
Abominations.
Abominations.
Whoa. I really wish I had been informed of this sooner. I'm so screwed. I am so fucking screwed.
I've never destroyed an abomination.
Because I'm supposed to be the liaison between us and the shifters.
They probably didn't know either.
This was not shifters of this city. These were ones he had brought from his old country.
There you go. So you're not worried.
Whew, gave me kind of a scare there. Don't do that again.
Also,
Kevin's going to have a heart attack, which is impressive.
Mike and I felt it prudent to handle it under the table, as it would be awful hard to have a liaison with the shifters if we are bringing in one of our kind is in fact bringing in
So hold on.
these abominations.
You whacked 3 abominations? Whatever that is.
Personally, no. I acted as coordination. That's my specialty. I'm an information broker. I'm a tactics specialist.
Oh, okay.
It was handled. They are since been destroyed, Mike. They are no longer an issue, but it was one of the things we were debating on bringing up because it really had no bearing as they never got involved. But as the sheriff had just pointed out, it is nice to know these things. Again, sorry for not telling people, but as you can figure out, we were never sure who to trust.
My own, I got a question. So,
Yes.
we're gonna kick in so the hobby can be a hobby?
Well, there's I'm not as involved in the politics, but given the conversation and some discussion on willingness to accept those that might be without clan or other circumstances, Mike also felt it might be a good time for me to discuss my role and position within the city as well. The clan of Nosferatu has offered me sanctuary, as they are those most akin to my kind that were in a position to do so.
Wait, so you're not like a Nosferatu then?
No, I was embraced by a necromancer in the death pits of the concentration camps of Poland.
I got no idea what a necromancer is.
I was I was given to understand that
use magic to control the dead. Mike.
And this particular bloodline or clan, what the official status is, I'm not entirely sure, is known as a Harbinger of Skulls. But they are also...
That's the name? Like, they're the Harbingers of the Skulls.
They're bloodline.
All right. Can I roll my Sabat
Yep.
work?
Yes, you can.
I totally will be rolling too.
Roll. Yeah.
Alrighty. Mine is...
I have 6 dice.
Okay, I got you. Look at that. So for those who don't know out of character, Harbinger of Skulls, yes, is a bloodline officially.
What's the diff? Doesn't matter. I totally failed on that.
Yeah. You're like, okay.
I'm still brain aneurysming over the whole abomination thing.
There we go. That's it. Yeah, that's it. You're like, oh yeah.
So, what Ransdale will say.
Yes, they are new to the spot.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
When you jack these abominations, did they have Sven's X?
No.
Damn it.
It is interesting in this time to see a harbinger of the skull that is not part of the Sabbat.
Well, as I say, I was embraced by a lone individual. We, after fleeing the concentration camps, we actually took shelter among some of your kind, using, in fact, a similar disguise to the one I used here in the city, passing ourselves off as Nosferatu refugees from the Third Reich. We then left, and my mentor and sire had us rejoin the Sabbat. It was then that it was made clear to me that my place was not among them. For they are, quite frankly, no different than... They're the Third Reich of the kindred world. And that is how they treat the lessers. And I, having been on the receiving end of that, I could not condone or support it. And so I fled. And upon coming to America, where it's far easier to hide, sought out the Nosferatu. That was a disguise that had worked for me in the past, but I legitimized it a bit more by actually making contacts with them. The particular skill sets I can offer them complemented theirs, and they offered me sanctuary in exchange for that.
And this Camp Maria City works closely with the Giovanni, which I understand your clan does not at all.
I cannot speak.
The Skulls do not, but
I cannot speak for my clan. I have no contact with any of them.
We, as Nosferatu, consider him more Nosferatu than anything else. We will stand by that, and anyone who wishes to argue that can speak to us about it.
I do not debate the fact that he is a Nosferatu, only that necromancers seem to not like other necromancers of different groups, we'll say.
We understand that, and that is something we will cautiously approach with the Giovanni and attempt to work out some kind of understanding with them. We figured since they were non-Camarilla that it really wasn't a concern of the council. So
it is only a concern for the council in so much that if it causes an issue or a rift, that will cause a problem.
Hence why this conversation was why Mike recommended this be discussed here.
Yeah.
Obviously, as far as the wider world need be concerned, I'm nothing more than a Nosferatu with some neat tricks.
Obviously,
and they don't even need to know which one.
I don't have any concern with you being a Nosferatu. Simply, as long as the relations with the Giovanni and the city remain intact, you may stay here as far as Clan Tremere is concerned. However, in no offense, you are not worth another fight on another front.
I can't dispute that, hence why I've kept my head down and why I make my haven in a place I can assure you no Giovanni is going to find themselves.
Usually.
Very good.
I do have contact information should anyone need to reach me. I can dig up details that perhaps my clanmates can't always find, hence why Mike has kept me close.
If you're the one that we should direct our information gathering questions through the Nosferatu for, then I will gather your information so that I may acquire this information.
Mike looks at everybody. I am telling you now, this we will, to make it easier and so that way you can better understand Damien, and even though you've already accepted him, that way you can see that he is truly working for the benefit of the Camarilla. We will allow Damien to be the information gatherer and liaison to the other clans.
Mr. Ansel shrugs. Fine.
Yeah, he passes out a cell phone number. He said he does have a generic email address.
It is my suggestion that everyone here acquire a satellite phone. The Sabbat can disrupt phone towers, but they have difficulty disrupting satellites. So
they got the one with voicemail.
Just a suggestion.
It is perhaps a prudent thing. Those numbers forward directly to a landline in the event of lack of signal, because yes, believe it or not, landlines are still a thing. I can make arrangements to get landlines brought in at other locations.
Well, on the note of trying to get landlines set up, because this can... Actually, retcon, just ignore that. I'll tangent later. Sorry.
Hey, Rick. I need another Primogen in here. AKA, I need you to step out.
If you go to Bill's YouTube channel, you should be able to click the button to observe, and it'll catch you up.
Yeah, you should be able to watch from there. If people are just going to watch, I'd like them to not be in the room, because I need it for other people. Rick? Let me kick you.
Talking to me?
No, Rick.
Oh.
Try and get his attention.
You're actively still in the scene, so you might have like...
Yeah, your character's actually actively in the scene. Rick's is not. That's kind of why I'm trying to get Rick out of there. Food or what? Never mind, probably. Ah, okay. Okay. Sorry. Had to kick him.
Yeah, well, you won.
Yeah, I tried. But we got Aries trying to get in.
So,
Damien can also tell you that he has indirect contact to a faction of mages that are experts in technology if we need to pursue alternatives to phone.
And thank you, Matt, for the assist in group chat. I never know what the link is.
Yeah, I went and actually dug it up. So.
All right. Well, Crow looks to the others. Well, then it sounds like we've gotten quite a bit accomplished. I still need to pick a seneschal.
Yeah, and a keeper. I believe we do not have a keeper of Elysium yet as well.
Not an official one.
So don't we need to help the Hoppy out by giving her some money or something? She can do Hoppy shit.
Do what? I'm sorry, Marcus. Kind of.
I said, don't we gotta help the? I mean, I don't know what other places. You know, they were able to throw parties and have salons and were able to be mavens and all that other stuff. She got no bread to do that, or we gotta kick the horse.
Having some type of gathering of the kindred of the city, so that way she knows everyone in the domain would be beneficial for the new harpy.
We can do that.
You want we should throw a party?
Sounds like a plan. It's the best way to allow her to meet everyone, and that way she can keep records. If she's going to be the harpy, she's going to need to have all this information.
Well, while we're on that note, if we're planning on having a public gathering of the kindred, Sheriff, if you need any assistance with trying to make sure that the site remains secure, I can give you my contact information after the meeting.
I can.
I'd appreciate it.
I know of this Sabat individual, and offering up that we will have many of us at one place will be probably too much of a
We paint a target on ourselves.
Well, yeah.
I do not find this unacceptable.
Maybe it would be best.
I always hurt my knees.
Sorry. Maybe it'd be best if we did a bait and switch on them, told them, made it very public where we were going, and then we could use that as an opportunity to possibly kick them in the balls, since they've been spending the better part of this whole month kicking us in the balls.
Actually, boss, they really haven't been doing that because they've been occupied. But I understand if you guys don't want to have a public party or whatever, we can always get at a hotel and do something on the low, so that so that it's not like ostentatious. However, it might look good if we did do something ostentatious. And
we do need to present to front that, because I don't mean to sound proud here, but we need to show the Sabat that we are going to continue operations, and if they attempt to make a move about it, we can intervene and stop it.
That's the whole reason why I was hoping we'd pick a harpy soon, that we have a seneschal, and that we have a keeper. It shows that we are not going to bow to them. It's gonna be business as normal. Business as fucking usual, motherfuckers.
So Crow looks to everybody. Now here's a question. I know technically I'm supposed to pick out the seneschal, but does anybody have a good idea in mind for that position?
The hell is the seneschal?
They're like my width, as you would put it.
What you've been doing is Mike's explanations have been clear to me.
What?
They're the ones that, if I am indisposed, can assist with things as well. They're my second in command.
Well, we wouldn't want to have things look like it's clan favoritism or whatever, so you should probably pick somebody that ain't, like used to running shit.
Fair enough.
Not of interest.
Fair enough. So does anybody have any ideas? That's why I'm asking. I figure maybe, because yes, I have been in the city, but I have been out of touch for a little bit due to the whole car accident and the almost dying because people were trying to kill me thing.
I've been barely in the city. The people who would be good nominees are already doing stuff, whether it be Primogen or
Yeah, well,
Scourge or Sheriff or whatever.
yeah,
We've been doubling up on a lot of things.
We
well,
are stretched thin.
understood. So then, all right. Well, then
I
I will
got
decide on
ideas.
some.
I got an idea.
Okay.
It's kind of wacky though. I mean,
Hmm.
technically, the the guys who run the city, technically, the people in the Camarilla that are in the inner circle or whatever are actually Camarilla, right?
Yeah.
But ain't nowhere in the books does it say some of those positions got to be Camarilla.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking we give the independents a leg up.
Got an independent in mind?
I've only heard one of them that's worth a fuck. I haven't heard anybody's name, ring out too much. You guys know anybody, who fits the bill?
It,
I mean, I'm not against having an independent as a seneschal. It would be. It's not very. It would definitely be non-traditional, but it would definitely, as you said, give them a leg up, and put them in the city. However, the catch is, as a seneschal, you still have to abide by the responsibilities and the rules of the Cameron
Now,
as
if
a whole.
only there was a group that had said that they would do kind of sort of what we do, but not really join us. If there was a group of vampires out there that had that particular thing going on, is there such a group?
There was. The Anarchs are now just all destroyed.
I'm not those guys.
He is clearly alluding to the Giovanni.
Okay. Well, we could put a Giovanni as a seneschal.
I mean, you'd have to have a
It
conversation.
would.
I mean, what could it hurt? That's true. Yeah. Is that a point?
Obviously, what it would hurt is the promise.
That's true. Yeah.
Well,
I
in the
I can
fine
offer
print,
another concern on a conflict of interest as well
um,
with them. I have reliable evidence that some of these rather graphic homicides against people of faith have been orchestrated by apparently a Catholic, what appears to be cardinal, as well as someone with the name Giovanni.
Excuse me.
what are you talking about?
That wouldn't happen to be who I'm thinking of, would it be? Mr. Lambo Leap himself?
Hold on, what are we
He's not.
talking about? What's going on?
A number of these priests have apparently been fairly savagely executed,
You got
and
my town over here.
they've I've been able to obtain reliable evidence that they were killed by a Cardinal Dante.
That's not Giovanni.
No.
Mike,
No.
he's not
However,
Giovanni, but he is the former Prince of Green Bay.
it appears his
Yes.
apprentice may be a Giovanni that he has manipulated.
Hmm.
What do you want?
I'm just going to,
This-
just as a heads up to the ST, since my scene with him hasn't concluded yet, I'm going to ignore that part of it and just the thin,
Gotcha,
narrow
gotcha.
part that I know that he's in town. And
Well, we'll say
Okay.
once your scene ends, then you can have all this information.
yeah,
Then
that's
this
fine.
will
That's what I was
'Cause that
working
scene-
on, but I wanted to give you a heads up.
Yeah, that scene will happen before this, anyways. So
Okay.
Once you're done with that will. But
Yeah.
For now,
Yeah, that's what I'm rolling on. So at this point in time, all this news about him being a fucker is news to me.
I would like to remind everyone that while we are the more humane sect, there is no rules in the traditions that precludes kindred from killing mortals.
There sure isn't, but we can this whole masquerade thing.
yes. If it violates the masquerade, which killing mortals and making it public as it is would violate the masquerade.
I would
The Camarilla
certainly
has
be
done
going on
everything
the
they
line.
can to. The Camarilla has done everything they can to hide that very issue.
So what clan is it?
Mike. Mike was speaking up. He goes, I know for a fact that I've had to do some rearranging of some facts online as well as changing other people's minds about what they know in order to keep the priest deaths a secret. Because it was obvious this was no normal person.
Marcus, Facebook.
What happened with these deaths? What exactly is going on?
The priest, now admittingly, I don't exactly mind that they died because they were all confirmed pedophiles and members of a child pornography ring,
Mm-hmm.
but they were exsanguinated, disemboweled, decorated, and then placed in a skin angel crucifixion formation.
Oh, are those the ones that were at the hanging the statue gardens?
No, definitely.
Okay, it's a different situation. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
This was before the statue.
It sounded roughly similar, so I was going to go.
It was pretty close, but yeah. Yeah, no, that's like the
Right.
third version. Yeah, I'm like, no, same, different.
So
No,
blatantly gory.
Blatantly
Marcus, there was
gory.
a second part.
Yeah, I mean, some of you as players came in after it, so. But that is basically what happened. We did our best to cover up as much of it as we could, along with some of the other clans. I'm pretty sure before Carmine came here, the Venture were in the process of making sure, at least through various means, they covered that up as well. It was something we weren't trying to make public because it could possibly draw the eye of mortals and hunters to our city. And we already have enough issues.
If I may, I want to try and drag the conversation back a moment because there was an issue that we have tangented from that I think needs to finish being addressed.
Okay.
And that is the seneschal.
Okay. Well, right now nobody can put forward a possible person.
I have an idea to that regard.
Okay. I'm listening, Crow.
Alexander's gonna point towards Carmine. You have because they were talking a little bit off to the side. Carmine still has the number for the Toreador of the 13 that was just in the room. Mm-hmm. How inappropriate might it be for a temporary seneschal until we get all of this straightened out?
That would be beneficial. I mean, as long as it's just, obviously they have more pressing matters, but if they're willing to accept it for now, just as a temporary thing until we can find a more, rooted seneschal, then...
Exactly.
I disagree.
Okay.
Let's look at things realistically. The reason that you're put back in power, the reason the prince is dead, the reason that all of this has been orchestrated is Carmine. So obviously he has the requisite political acumen to make the situations happen. And I like how he tried to deflect that he should not be the seneschal based on clan favoritism. But I believe that most of us here know Carmine, and it's very obvious that he should be the second in command, clan or not.
I have already thought as much. I agree with that.
I simply didn't want to have to throw him back under the spot that he tried to get out of.
Well, I don't want the fucking job.
Well, that's the ultimate thing. He can deny it if he denies
well, then that's
yeah. I mean, so I'm not going to force him into the seneschal position. As you said, you're right. I mean, a lot of this is due to Carmine's influence and pull and power. But if he's going to deny it, I'm not going to force him into it until he has to.
Do you deny it, Carmine?
Can I see my case here? Okay, here's the deal. The seneschal has got to be a guy that everybody's going to want to come and talk to instead of talking to the prince. Okay? Nobody likes me.
Well, to be fair, I like you.
Thanks, boss.
I think you're an excellent person. I would definitely come to you if I had issues or problems.
See, that's 2 right there.
Carmine, seriously.
Is there anyone in here that has an issue speaking to Carmine?
The other Primogen, none.
I don't have any. He's one of my deputies.
Yeah, the other Primogen shake their head no.
Well, I don't speak for a clan per se, but Mike has entrusted me to at least offer an opinion, and I know from watching the numbers and information, Carmine has approached these situations with a tactical foresight that seems to be very beneficial to someone in that position.
I state again, Carmine, do you refuse the position?
I'm sorry, this is just funny.
I mean, you
Go.
gotta show up for shit, and like,
Carmine, you've just been volunteered by the entire council. Everybody in attendance, with the exception of the Setite sitting off in the corner, has volunteered you at this point.
To be fair, though, the prince did say, "Hey, you don't have to do it."
Yeah,
and
I mean,
to be fair, there was an alternative option thrown on the table.
okay, but
It is simply a question, Carmine. Will you decline this responsibility?
responsibility. Well, I guess not. No, I mean, I'll do it.
Fine.
So you'll accept the seneschal position? Very well.
Okay.
And it will be decreed throughout the city that Carmine is the new
Can you
seneschal.
not declare? I mean, you guys know when the
As Damien's already got his smartphone out and he's got a notice half type. I'm looking back and forth like, are we doing this or?
Oh, Ranza takes out his phone and begins texting all the Tremere in the city so they know.
Every Primogen is grabbing their phone.
boss? I mean, like, am I? Is this, I mean, don't you have like deputy things for me to do?
You're more important than the seneschal position.
I believe Kevin has another deputy, and you being elevated to seneschal, he
I do
can
indeed
work
have
with
another
you.
deputy.
But don't you have some deputy type things for me to do that don't require me to finish all the things? I mean,
They're trying to get out of this.
All right, you have accepted the position. There will be no more squirming out of you.
wait, I'll have you know, I'm the finisher. I know people.
I'll try to inform David that he is the lone scourge since you're seneschal, and I'll have him take over duties.
I'm sorry?
And that you can, that he'll be, I hope that you're able to work with him on the influence thing as you had been previously, as you've been doing a fine job at it.
I don't. What the?
Congratulations, Carmine. Now you and I need to get together and put the city back on track, even though you were already starting. Now you will have the full weight of every Primogen here.
I just look down the table at Carmine going with the thumbs up and a big cheeky smile.
Okay, here is probably the scariest part. Ransdale will give Carmine a legitimate smile.
Holy crap, and like, everybody drops dead.
I go,
And his appearance drops to 0.
I go, hey, do we, is there a, do I get paid for this?
Do you get paid for this?
Yes, I will pay you $1 a week for the next 7 years.
Sounds like a good deal, boss.
Okay, guys, wax thing, okay.
However, here's
Let's
the catch.
face it, Mr. Carmine, cash is really quite fluid, and I suspect the reward for such a position comes in less tangible but more valuable forms.
Damon is correct.
And I'll slide him a cell phone as well and tell him this is a direct contact for my point of contact among the mages.
Okay.
They may be prudent allies, and they have expressed a willingness to work with us.
Well, now the Venture have another issue to solve.
Oh, God damn it.
On top of that, priest?
You cannot be a seneschal and a primogen.
Why not?
We are trying to limit the amount of people who have numerous jobs they are enforced to do. We already have enough. He points to a few who have a lot of titles they have to enforce. I am not going to continue that effort. I will begin speaking with those I know outside the clan, outside the city, and see if we can't get some reinforcements, so that way numbers can bolster and people can ease up on their jobs.
I got this whip guy.
At this point, Alexander is glaring daggers at Carmine. Like, I tried to help you, you backstabbing son of a bitch.
But I got this whip guy.
AKA the former whip of the Venture has now become the new clan Primogen.
And you hear, I go, and if you change anything at the place, I'll fucking whack you myself.
I figure it's only fair since you subtly volunteered Carmine here that I would volunteer you for Primogen position.
I tried to volunteer Chosen. As he's pointing at the door.
Oh yeah, there's this thing. And to see how leaky this ship is, I'm gonna put it to you all. Do you mind if I tell you this thing?
Go ahead.
Rob is not dead.
Was not dead?
Rob. From Primogen to Gangrel. Now here's the thing.
Yes. We're still investigating who attacked him. We know that it was church hunters, but we don't know who sent them.
It wasn't just church hunters.
So now we have 2 confirmed things involving someone that has church influence.
Here's the thing. If I find out that anybody outside this room knows that Rob is alive, I will put the full weight of my organization on the person I find out leaked it. I've only told you. If anybody finds out, I swear to Christ, on my mother, I will have you whacked.
Because he knows people.
Sorry, friends, I know I'm not supposed to whack people as the seneschal guy, but that's what I do. So look, I will have you fucking whacked. I will burn your haven down, and I will kill every child that you've ever made. I swear to Christ. If anything happens to Rob, I will roll you guys responsible.
Anything happens to Rob, the sheriff and the Scourge will be also hunting them down because that is a direct attack on the Cameron itself.
If anybody finds out, if this guy who I think is involved finds out, it gets clear, or gets word, I will assume that somebody in here failed him. And together, having meetings with him or dealings with him on a personal level, I will hold that person responsible.
Lord Seneschal, if I may, that mage contact may be even more prudent, as two of those mages are members of the church themselves and have worked with some of our kind in the past.
Be that as it may.
Yes, I've tried getting in contact with them myself, and no results yet. They seem occupied.
There was I know they had a number of matters. I'm given to understand we should all sleep better from now on, however, as they've dealt with some of their concerns.
One other thing. Ring bell.
I'm having a hard time understanding him too, Matt. So.
Sorry. Can you hear me now? Or no?
Somewhat. You sound kind of muffled. Sounds kind of like. I mean, I can hear you.
Okay.
But it's still kind of muffled. I'm trying to listen as much as I can, so just keep going. I'll relay to Matt.
So, Rainsdale, I want you to take this phone. Magic is our problem. I need you to fix it. So I need you to talk to these mage guys.
Okay, so you want Rainsdale to talk to the mages?
I can't understand what you're talking about. What the mages own magic. He's a magic guy. You talk to the magic guy.
Okay. That could be awkward. PJ, I don't know if you heard, but Carmine handed you the phone and said you're going to be talking to the mages.
Oh, Ransdale will like have a slightly look on his face and simply say, "Oh," and I'll
Is
put
that
the
a
phone in his
problem?
pocket. No, there is no problem, Seneschal. I will do as you say.
All right. Kev, boss, guy. Yeah, I'm boss anymore. Fuck you, Kevin. No, so about this whole hobby business, how do we conduct it? Because if you don't mind, French guy, let me just put this by him real quick.
You're cutting in and out really, really hard, Marcus.
Yeah, I didn't even get that one. I'm trying to listen.
Marcus, you live in a fucking wind tunnel?
He just dropped.
Drop for a minute. He may be trying to fix it. It may just be the connection. So usually he's
Maybe.
better than that. So I don't get it.
So, in regards to while he's off, in regards to the church-related assassination attempt, I was able to find out early. Actually, he checks his watch 2 hours ago. Who exactly it was that had attempted to, not who called in the attack, but who performed it.
Okay.
Apparently, it was the Society of Leopold was called in.
That gets some rather perturbed looks from many of the Primogen here.
So that is to the extent of it wasn't simply some zealots that had a preacher tell them that they had somebody that was a sinner. This was a serious attempt. So do with that information as you will. That is as far as I've gotten into any of that.
Crow looks over to Damien. Well, you're the information guy. Does that seem to track with that kind of info?
That seems reasonable. The information I had on obviously obtaining information on the church is slightly more difficult, but I had reasonable information that they had skilled and coordinated individuals, as well as the information I got from the site of the attack indicated military level tactics. Not, as you said, not simply, these weren't zealots with pitchforks and torches.
My guy actually found a demon out there.
You're still it really sounds like you're speaking through a bottle, actually, is what it sounds like.
I don't know what the Society of Leopold is, other than church-related men who.
Now, okay.
Somewhat.
You're better.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what it is on your end, Marcus. Yeah, it's not your usual.
How about now?
I can hear you. And whoever's yelling at PJ.
So my idea is very simple. The thing is my guy, Alex, found something. It's pretty interesting. Hello?
Alex is gonna look at him and say, "Wait, which thing? I've been busy."
You're getting tracking things to me, and you gotta hit on the count of it. Remember?
I can't understand you.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I'm trying.
I'm trying too, and it's getting very hard. I don't know why.
It doesn't love us right now.
So what
Yeah,
they
I'm not sure what it is actually. Like I said, usually we don't have a problem with you, but
Ah, yes. Um, no, just out of character. It was the, wait, who's crap?
Joey.
okay. I know what he's talking about.
Okay. Yes. Well, there was an account that Carmine had asked me to look into, and uh, following a fairly long paper trail of following money from one hand to the other, it seems like a lot of our issues are currently coming out of a law firm called Wolfram and Hart.
Ram Wolfenhart?
Ram Wolfenhart.
I don't need a trademark. Fucking hit on me, thank you.
That's
Whatever.
Elmo's YouTube channel.
Then that means that our issue with the Nosferatu is that she is not just a Sabbat member; she is also an Infernalist.
Awesome. Mike looks. Yeah, I didn't get to tell you that part. We believe there's a Nosferatu anti-tribute in the city, and since Mr. Ransale there is confirming it, we also believe that now apparently she's also an Infernalist.
There's more to that as well. I'm assuming Infernalists are in league with mages. I apologize, I'm not really familiar with them.
They can be.
Usually they're more in league with the demons.
Here's the thing, Mr. Ransdale will say, every one of our enemies, both the Sabbat and the Ram Wolfenhart, Ram Wolfenhart is a triumvirate of a shapeshifter, a mage, and a vampire, as well as the Sabbat has his own mage, Gareth has his own mage, and he also has a shifter counterpart. So,
Yes,
that's
that's
just
what
how it is.
Yes.
No, that definitely
So,
sounds. And we need to get
possible.
we need to get moving and start finally firing back at them in any way we can. Maybe not directly, but let's hit them where it hurts more specifically. If they're trying to take over, land or whatever, we simply counter it. And with our new Ventru Primogen, I'm sure he can arrange things to make sure that their paperwork gets held up in, limbo forever.
Damien's going
so
to
you have
chuckle
heard
at that, and he says, "Yeah, and if it doesn't get caught up in limbo, there's always the possibility of technical failures."
Oops! Don't you hate it when that happens?
Or I could kill them.
or we
I
can just do
respect
all
your
three.
enthusiasm. However, there's some processes we should probably pursue, because there's that noticeability when every property purchase results in a dead body.
To be fair, most vampires ash.
True,
Yeah.
but we can't
There won't be
guarantee
dead
that they will.
And even if it's a dead body per se, there's still a missing party.
Ultimately, I think the biggest downside, unfortunately, Mr. Ransdale, is the fact that you can't be everywhere at once. As much as it seems like you have been.
I don't know. We don't know what he can do. Maybe he can now.
That was an ST cop out if I ever heard one. He can't do that. No.
No, he can't. He can't. There's no ritual or spell I've seen in the thaumaturgy that allows him to be everywhere at once. Just not.
I mean, there is one that lets me teleport, so I'm not gonna.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, that's about as close as we get.
Won't you guys be excited when I start teleporting? Wow. Renzo will say, this has been an enlightening conversation.
We could.
Fine.
Crow looks. Actually, if we did, because even the Sabbat hate the Infernalists, it would keep them busy. They'd start focusing more on that. Maybe ease up some of our issues.
And how sure are we that they're not in league with them, though? Because while they may not like them, it's hard. It's hard to feel like everything isn't already arrayed against us.
Well, I'm not sure if Gareth is an Infernalist, but he is reported to be next in line for control of the Sabbat. And someone who is that high in their echelon would have far too many eyes on them. It would be likened to a Justicar. The Justicar has the Justicariat is often at odds, and if one was to go infernal, there are far too many eyes to let that continue. If Gareth is infernal, then he is truly the greatest infernalist there is, because his sect is watching all of his actions. His enemies are ready to remove him. Everyone wants to be in charge. So I find it highly likely that he will be very unhappy that those who are working for him are infernal. And hopefully I am working on something that will take down the defenses of Wolf, Ram, and Hart, so that we may discuss our issues with them quite physically.
From a discussion that I was having earlier, as far as another layer of their defenses, I'll have to discuss that with you a little bit more later, but I was informed that they have a number of shifters acting as guards for that facility.
But not the typical shifters.
What facility?
Ram, Wolf, and Hart, the law firm.
Oh, yay.
Those aren't normal shifters. I believe if you talk to your sources, they will probably tell you they walk the spiral, Mike.
Oh, well aware of that situation.
Yeah, well, they have them as guards for the law firm.
I was also told by this contact that if we can manage to get a hold of some of the shifters and simply inform them that they're there, they should be willing to get rid of it, as they would look at it as their problem.
I've been keeping them apprised. I have kept the shifters apprised of the situation. Last I knew, they were planning on hitting it, and I was planning on being there when they hit it, so in case there was any infernalist stuff going on, I could check on that myself as they were doing their thing.
Mm-hmm. And Seneschal, I agree. If they're going to be working in tandem with one another, and if Gareth is working with his own shifter and mage counterparts, as a form of military action, I leave this to everybody else as well, but might it not be prudent for us to try and set up an official meeting between the upper leadership of, Prince, Seneschal, yourself, Sheriff, and try and make sure that each of us that is trying, sorry, I'm trying to not choke to death here, pretty much make sure that we have the same level of coordination, pretty much that each one of us is in touch with our counterpart on each side.
Makes sense.
Because I've only been in the city for a few days, but as a city right now, under a coordinated attack, we are fragmented and we will lose if we don't fix that.
Yes, I believe the Seneschal and Prince and Sheriff should have meetings. I am just the scourge, so I will just do what I do.
By the way, Marcus is typing on the side. There's a he says we run interference for him, and he said they must not know we have a new prince. And I know why he would give an explanation for that, but I'm not gonna make him type it out. Basically, if they find out there's a new prince in this city, that's going to be the next target. I think is more what Marcus is scared of. I could be wrong, but that would be more what Carmine would be worried about, is because then they'll focus, and
Well,
then
Bill,
for fear of cutting off the head of the snake or something.
they'll also be aware that we're organized again.
Yep, and that would be the biggest problem. If
Well, then
as long as they think the Camarilla is disorganized,
then they think they've got an upper hand. In that case, then I'll just keep running the go-between as I already have. I haven't heard anything new from them lately, but I will try and get in contact with them as soon as I can.
there you go. I do agree we should keep the fact that I am the new prince a closely guarded secret. Only those within the Camarilla need to know.
Mr. Crow, I believe by definition we don't have any prince.
Smiles. Exactly. We will keep it as the status quo for now.
Fair enough.
Just to solve some issues. That way, when it comes time, it won't matter. Yeah, exactly.
Tell new vamp we got a new guy. Yeah.
No non-vamp. Yeah. So if they're not a vampire, not a member of the Camarilla, or at least the independent that we trust, they are to know nothing.
That's fair. So in the regard of, say, having our sheriff or any of the actions made by a Primogen, what about the merits of us working in tandem with a mage and a shifter associate until this all blows over?
Well, we have Kevin here, who's been the shifter liaison, and as he says, he's been working pretty closely with him, so we'll keep that as the shifter liaison. Mage, I believe, was just handed off to Mr. Ransdale. From what I heard, sometimes they had issues with Tremere, so I can see that might be a problem later, but I'm pretty sure Damien will probably give you the information to one who's not so close-minded.
Yeah, that's their tech mage, the head of their tech mages. He's kind of new age, and he can at least kind of smooth over those relations. Because yes, there is one faction that your clan is descended from that are maybe less than welcoming.
I don't know if this is good or bad to tell them. If you have techno-mage friends, you should explain that I've gone through a life-changing experience and I feel more awakened.
Well, that's something that perhaps should be discussed. But again, that point of contact on that phone, you could discuss with them as well. If you'd like me to facilitate the initial meeting, I can.
If you would, I suppose if I have to do this, if you would put in a good word, that would be good enough. Although I did hear from a shifter that I have relations with that the mages...
Damien raises an eyebrow at that.
That the mages have a kill-on-sight order for vampires. So, please be cautious.
I can tell you that is specifically not the case. I've interacted with a number of them. They have, because of their structure, they don't have a prince per se like we do, but they operate in the status of a council strictly. One for each of their traditions, as they call them, their structures of thinking. And that point of contact is one of the council members.
Very good.
So in other words, they may have heard... I'm not going to say they were lying. I will just say they may have misunderstood what they heard.
I'm gonna have to suck it.
So,
that was hilarious.
If Damien has put you in contact with the mage, and he says they're on the council, then we can assume that obviously they don't have a kill-on-sight order because, well, Damien would be dead.
Yes, I've met with him in person as well. He's actually helped me
Minneapolis versus
expand on some of my hardware.
So I can imagine that, once we get this makeshift, once we get this makeshift coalition going, I can imagine that we are going to basically, to use some vernaculars, we're going to give these assholes an uppercut they weren't expecting.
Oh, are you still biting?
If there's no further business from anyone, he looks around at everybody. Then I say we can call this meeting adjourned, and we should all get started on our necessary duties.
Agreed.
So we will keep the contact. Again, we will keep all contact as minimal as possible. Only talk to those we need to talk to. And no knowledge of the new leadership is to be let out. If they somehow find out, then we track down the leak and plug it.
With lots of bullets.
Or stakes, or in Mr. Ransale's case, from what I heard, a sword.
Oh, he's very adept with that sword, sir. I've seen it.
I can imagine. All right. Well, then I will call this meeting to a close. I thank you all for attending, and I hope to prove that I am not as weak as the other princes. We will make Minneapolis strong once again. We will be the beacon to all other Camarilla cities. And thank you all. If nobody else has any further business, character-wise, we can do separate scenes if you need to.
Damien will just let Ransdale know that he wishes to speak to him privately at a later date, perhaps before the meeting with the mages.
Okay.
Gotcha. Out of character, if you want to send me a PM, we can arrange to set up a scene for that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we can do that. So, other than that, I don't think anybody else has any other business, character-wise.
Did you guys make any? Can you hear me yet?
Yeah,
kinda.
Sort of.
Has anybody made any formal plans for the Harpy and their coming out party? And how we're gonna do that?
That actually, come to think, it was actually never decided on how the Harpy was going to get to know everybody. I mean, I assume we can set up I can set up various scenes where, she as the Harpy is sitting in, and basically with the new prince have to go reintroductions all over again. So, I mean, that's the best way to do it. And, I'll give her a list of the NPCs, obviously, because it's not really necessary for me to, play 15, 30 people.
Essentially, we need to give her a list of all our statuses and all the names of the peaceful council, so that she can have access to that.
Yes, Harpy is a PC. In a worst case scenario, I mean, we could just say, they meet out of scene, and she meets with everybody just to get the necessary information.
So okay, so that means that everybody has a scheduled meeting with the Harpy. So we'll all have a Harpy meeting scheduled.
Yes. Yes. So all those in attendance, there's, PM is a thing, just copy paste it. Yeah. But that's basically the way we can do it, because I know Julia has a lot of stuff going on in real life, so I figure, so we don't have to keep trying to pull her into scenes when, she's got all that stuff going on. We can, if we have to do a PM and then copy and paste it to Blue Book, that's fine. I will make a message in the vampire chat, just at least so all the vampires know.
Actually, not all vampires. All vampires with the status background.
But yes, all vampires with status background are the only ones that need to worry about it. Everybody should have some kind of status at this point.
I have one dot.
I'm curious on, since I had status before coming into the town and now have a position that gives status, how does that...
You have status. That's all that matters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure how that, because I know it was some of the other players had it added to them. I just I wanted
Yeah.
to make sure for technical points.
Still works the same because what your status is now is what you would officially have as your title.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Yep, you're
Cool.
good. So,
Sean,
all
I
right.
did send you a Facebook message about the mage meeting.
Well,
Awesome.
just as an aside, since we're still recording, do we want to go ahead and cut this and then do everything
yeah.
off camera, technically?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
All right, thank you players for playing. Thank you watchers for watching. I hope you enjoyed and have a little plot twist. And good night.